Ibrahim Traore just shocked the world. How one man defeated 1 billion locusts without firing a shot in the heart of Burkina Faso, where the desert wind often decides who eats and who starves, something extraordinary happened. When billions of locusts darkened the skies, devouring everything in their path, the world expected Captain Ibrahim Traoré to beg for help, to wait for foreign planes and foreign chemicals. But instead, he whispered 7 words that would change Africa's future. Our sky will bring life, not death. What followed was a $4 million gamble known as the Green Sky Campaign, a fusion of science, faith, and courage that turned despair into rebirth. Drones replaced pesticides, fungal spores replaced toxins, and a nation once mocked became a symbol of hope for the world. Tonight, we reveal the untold story behind Africa's most daring environmental victory, and the secret that could redefine the future of our planet. Stay until the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories of resilience and awakening. It began as a shimmer on the horizon, a strange, shifting light that grew darker by the hour. Soon, it became a living storm. Billions of locusts rose from the dunes, their bronze wings flashing in the sunlight as they devoured everything in sight. Fields of millet and maize vanished under a moving shadow. Within days, entire provinces were stripped bare. The crops that had taken months to grow were gone in minutes. Farmers fell to their knees in disbelief. Mothers wept as the land that fed their children became dust. It was not war, yet it felt like one. A silent invasion that no army could fight. Advisors rushed to the capital with desperate pleas. Call for international aid, summon foreign experts, beg for chemical aircraft from Europe. They offered statistics and promises, but all of them came with strings, debts, conditions, and the familiar tone of condescension that has long haunted the continent. But Ibrahim Traoré did not yield. He stood in the command room surrounded by maps and reports, his face lit by the soft hum of solar lights. And he said quietly, "We will not fight death with death. Our sky will bring life." Those words would mark the birth of the Green Sky Campaign, a $4 million project that no one believed would work, not even some of his closest allies. Traoré's idea was audacious. Instead of poisoning the swarms, he would fight them with life itself, a natural fungus discovered by Burkina Faso scientists that infects locusts but leaves crops, animals, and humans unharmed. The concept was revolutionary, but so was the scale. He ordered the creation of a national task force, soldiers, scientists, engineers, and farmers working together under a single mission to defend the land using the land. The campaign began at dawn. From makeshift airfields in Kaya and Dori, helicopters and drones lifted into the sky carrying tanks filled with metarhizium spores, the microscopic life form that would become Burkina Faso's unlikely weapon. Instead of clouds of chemical smoke, the sky released a living mist, invisible yet powerful, spreading across the desert with the wind. In the command tent, young engineers tracked every flight using solar-powered computers. The coordinates were precise, the timing perfect. Yet nature was unkind. High winds tore through the airfields, sand blinded the pilots, and 2 drones were lost within the first week. International journalists mocked the effort, calling it a farmer's fantasy. But Traoré refused to give in. Victory, he told his team, is not measured in numbers but in belief. 10 days later, the first miracle arrived. Satellite images revealed patches of green returning to the north. Fields once reduced to dust were showing signs of life. The locust numbers were dropping, not by destruction, but by design. The fungus spread silently from wing to wing, crippling the swarm without harming the soil. Within a month, bees returned, followed by birds, and finally, laughter. Across the villages of Oudalan, Yaga, and Dori, farmers walked into their fields and wept. Women sang old harvest songs. Children chased butterflies in places where nothing had grown for years. The world took notice. BBC called it a revolution in resilience. Al Jazeera wrote, "Africa's answer to famine took flight." Even skeptical European scientists admitted no one had ever stopped a swarm this way. But as praise grew, so did the heat. Literally. By late August, temperatures in the Sahel soared past 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Drones failed, spores died in storage, and solar panels melted under the sun. The campaign began to falter. Opponents within Traoré's government urged him to surrender the project. "The desert has won," one advisor whispered. But Traoré only looked at the map of his half-green, half-scorched nation and said, "If we stop now, we teach our children that fear is our leader." In 10 days, he ordered the construction of what would become the beating heart of the movement, the Sahel Biocamp. Built entirely from clay, recycled metal, and solar panels, it was a fortress of innovation. There, farmers worked beside scientists, soldiers beside engineers. They used goat skins for cooling systems, filtered water through moringa seeds, and grew new batches of fungus in handmade incubators. Each night, they sang under the open sky. The world mocked less now. Even CNN reporters, once skeptical, called it science born from survival. By September, the desert began to bloom again. The fungal spores shimmered green under sunlight, a living curtain protecting the land. The locusts retreated, beaten not by chemicals or foreign money, but by courage and community. And for the first time in generations, Burkina Faso harvested more grain than it imported. Markets reopened, bees thrived, and honey cooperatives led by village women became symbols of new prosperity. From the heart of the biocamp, Traoré announced something even bolder. The African Green Corridor, a chain of biological research hubs, solar farms, and eco-centers stretching from Burkina Faso through Mali, Niger, Chad, and Mauritania. The goal was simple but profound: to link science, sovereignty, and sustainability across the Sahel. Foreign analysts dismissed it as idealism. But within a year, satellites captured something no one expected: a continuous band of green stretching across Africa's heart, a living belt of hope. When asked about privatizing the biocamp, he replied, "If protecting our land makes us nationalists, then let the desert call us patriots." Those words spread like wildfire. Across African radio waves, from Dakar to Dar es Salaam, people repeated them with pride. Farmers began calling the campaign the Shield of Traoré. Murals appeared on walls, bees, fields, and a soldier standing beneath a green horizon. The movement became more than environmental. It was spiritual. It reminded Africa that the answers to its challenges might not lie in foreign aid or imported technology, but in the courage to trust its own hands and minds. He told his council, "Let them study us. But never let them own our story," because in truth, the Green Sky campaign was never about locusts. It was about sovereignty, the right of a people to defend their own land without waiting for permission. When asked about the future, Traoré said something that echoed across the continent. "We cannot change the world's climate, but we can change our courage." Today, the hum of bees replaces the noise of warplanes, and the whisper of crops replaces the silence of despair. Burkina Faso's fields glow under a living sky, green and eternal. And somewhere in the Sahel, a soldier stands watching the horizon, not as a conqueror, but as a guardian of life. Because in the heart of Africa, victory no longer means survival. It means rebirth.